There's a town on the coast of Guerrero, Mexico, where the women run everything, where salt has been harvested the same way for thousands of years, where a South African massage therapist built something so good that her longtime client said, "I need to help you share this with the world." That brand is Santu. I've been obsessed with beauty since before I knew what to call it. I co-founded a hair care line that hit 800 stores. I have receipts in this space. And now that I'm also an herbalist, I come to a brand with two sets of eyes. The beauty founder in me sees the business, and the herbalist in me sees the intention behind the ingredients. I love that Santu isn't inspired by tradition. They're in relationship with it. And with their products, they're not performing their values. They're actually embodying them. After my last beauty venture, I stepped away from the industry entirely. I went inward into herbalism, into spirituality, into myself. Santu is the first brand that felt worth stepping back into the beauty industry for. It's literally been 8 years since my last brand trip. And after this trip, I deeply understand why it had to be them.
These are so good. I'm bringing so much back. Let me help you bring them back to the US.
She just believed in me since the beginning, and that was so much more powerful.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna sell something that I'm saying, I'm Mexican American, I'm proud to be Mexican American, we're making a Mexican product. It is only right. It is the right thing to do.
This conversation goes deep. We talk about what it takes to build with someone you trust, what it means to honor a country through your product, and what your business can teach you about yourself when you're willing to listen. I believe that your business is a mirror and a vehicle for your greatest healing work.
It has taught me that I deserve that little bit of pause, and then I can also say no.
This is the Santu story. Let's get into it.
My name is Angelique Van Wyk. I am co-founder of Santu Beauty. I was originally born in South Africa. I've been in Mexico for the past 15 years, so this is home for me now.
I am Alicia Nogales, co-founder of Santu, and moved here 10 years ago where Santu was born, and this is where we met. I am Mexican American and love the fact that we're honoring the country that we revere and that we love so much with Santu.
And then how did you both meet?
Oh.
She moved here at the same time that I started my business here. And she was a very good client of mine, and we just became really good friends since we met about almost 10 years ago.
And you said she was a good client. What do you do, Angelique?
So I am a massage therapist, esthetician for 18 years now.
Yes, and you used to work on cruises, so we have that in common, and
Yeah.
we shared so many of our little cruise stories, and I really enjoyed getting to know more about your cruise life.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's so exciting. It was a short career on cruise ships, but I really enjoyed every little moment on there.
And is there any part of your time on cruises that is informing your time as a co-founder on Santu? Like anything that you learned there as a business that is informing you as an entrepreneur in this era?
Yeah, really hard work, like consistency, and never give up. And, you know, it's, I mentioned this to someone recently. It's like when you come from cruise ships, you are ready to face any battles. So
I feel like when she meets people like you from the cruise life, it's almost like there's a twinkle, like I know what you know.
Yes, you know where I'm coming from, and you got me.
Yes, and it's a deeper appreciation for your journey. That's why I've been asking you so many questions since we met, because I'm like, I know what it takes.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know, there's so many sacrifices you have to make, and such a journey. It's such a new experience, but I was much younger when I did it, and I was so much up for the adventure, and I was just so hungry to learn.
Yes.
And yeah, but I mean, it's such long hours and hard work, you know, and you have goals. They set goals for you. And like me, pushing myself to achieve those goals. I mean, like when you come out here in, like, I would say the real world.
Yes, it is
because it feels almost like you're in a fantasy when you're out
Yes.
there. It's like you're floating every day. Like
Yeah.
you would be
Literally are floating.
starting in this port, and then the next day you're in a different port, or you might be in the same port, but the ship is turned around. It feels like you're in a completely different place, because when you
Yes.
get off, you don't know where you are anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So from there, you got off the ship. You had your own storefront or location where then eventually you meet Alicia.
Well, not quite yet.
Okay.
I got off cruise ships, I had my son, I got married, and then I moved to Mexico. So when we came to Mexico, I started working in a 5-star hotel, which was another amazing experience. I honestly there learned to speak Spanish. Because when I came to Mexico, I didn't speak any Spanish. I could say hola, adios. Yeah, the basic things. But I really needed to, in a professional way, like me pushing myself so much to mis metas.
Yes, yes.
My goals, like to achieve my goals, I needed to speak the language because I needed to communicate. So where I was working, I learned to speak Spanish. I learned how to write emails, how to answer them in a professional way. And that prepared me so much more for what was about to come.
In your third language, by the way.
Right.
My third language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, you get a physical location, and you were doing house calls.
Yeah, so
For your clients.
after about 5 years, I decided I wanted to be independent. So I started my business in the bigger city, but then someone told me about this little town about 30 minutes away, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm going to check it out. I did that, and one of my ex-colleagues that was working with us in the hotel, she was so nice. She took me around to different hotels, different houses, and she introduced me to people. And from there, I came back and I did house calls. I offered my services at different houses, and I had every single treatment that I had on the menu, I had in my car. So my idea originally was to come out here every week. That was Wednesdays when the organic market was here. But people started calling every single day, and I was like, okay, something is going well here. I need to think bigger. And the business started just organically. It started growing organically. And in about 6 months, I had to rent a place and hire 3 girls to start working with me.
And then fast forward to when you meet Alicia, that journey you had, what was the leap there?
So I started the business here. I immediately met her. We became really good friends. And at that time, when I started the business, I was already making my own body scrubs and body lotions, massage candles. So when I met her, she started buying them, but she loved them so much. She said to me, I cannot do with the retail ones. I need the big ones.
Wholesale.
Professional size.
Yes.
Tubs.
So she would get tubs and tubs of the professional size, because she would leave some here. She would take some back home with her. And then 7 years went by of...
I just have to stop you and say, because this is so funny, because my husband she would do house calls, right? So I'm getting massage and we would chit chat the entire, but she has such healing hands.
She's a healer.
She's a healer. Exactly. She is a healer. And my husband would come out and say, you too. I've heard you chatting this entire time. Are you sure you're having a relaxing massage? I said, absolutely. This is our time. Her hands were still working.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop us,
No,
right?
I mean, I could go, I wouldn't even look at the time. We would just be going. And I mean, it would be just like a flowing massage as I went along. But before you know it, I mean, 2 hours, 2.5 hours could go by. But
and then 7 years of that.
Yeah.
Before I said to her, these are so good. I'm bringing so much back. Let me help you bring them back to the U.S. And then it just jumped to...
Yeah, it was an idea.
It was an idea. It was not it went from that to, no, we're going to brand this. And we're going to...
like, it was the first time for both of us.
Yeah.
So we didn't really know, like what to expect. So we spoke to someone.
Well, after we decided that we were going to do that, and I don't come from a beauty space.
Yeah, what's your background?
Oh, so I come from a background of service in the nonprofit world. I mean, I was raised with civil rights and activists. My mother was a teacher. My father is a Mexican American, was especially for Mexican American civil rights. So there was always this instilling in us, like to say that service is the rent we pay for living on this earth. So with my own children, it doesn't need to be your vocation, but it was very much of that. I really wanted to be home and was fortunate enough to be home with my 3 boys, and they were very close in age, so I was very busy. And aside from that, I became what I like to say, like a professional volunteer, which turned into getting behind some organizations that I really believed in, and frankly that other people weren't as interested in or were too hard. So used to also doing hard things. And I think with that, so I don't come for a profit of in the business world or for profit sector. And so it was very new to me. And it was during COVID that when we were all spending a lot of time by ourselves, and I was probably for a couple of years in between my trips to Mexico and seeing Angelique, I was trying to figure out what my next chapter looked like. And that took me a few years to do that. Believe that there are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. Even the things that you don't like so much, you just got to go through the next door or whatnot. And so we decided to do this, and I went back to the United States and met up with someone I hadn't seen since COVID, who I'd worked for in the nonprofit sector. I said, do you know anybody who could help me and Angelique help us, get this thing off the ground? And I really didn't even know what I meant by that, but she knew me from my previous work. So I think in her own mind, she knew, it's going to do it. And the third person, our CEO, came within a few months, and we incubated for 2 years before we launched product. And it's been how long?
4 years?
Well, we're on the 4th year, but we launched product only
about
a year
and 3 months ago.
Yeah.
What about Angelique and her healing work impacted you so much that you said, I believe in you, I want to create something in the world with you, and I want to put your essence and energy out in the world?
My great-grandmother is a curandera. She also is a healer. And her office was the front porch of my grandparents' house. And she used copal, which is our hero ingredient. And curanderas, or healers, are people that, especially in places where there weren't, or in addition to medical doctors, they healed you for physical, emotional, spiritual health. So, and I thought intrinsically part of my character too, to spend time and space on that. So I recognized immediately just by her hands alone that she had an energetic pulse of a healer. And this woman came, carrying how hot it is here at all times. And I was one of, I'm sure, 7 clients that day, or every given day, because she became very in demand. And she would carry the bed and the pillows, and she would show up, and Angelique, like always with a smile.
It's like sunshine.
Sunshine. Such a big heart, and I think I have a good read on people. And we have had a deep connection, and I'm a kind of go-for-it girl. She's a go-for-it girl. We live for the adventure. Yeah. I always say to my children, always go for the adventure.
Yeah.
It's a lot more worthwhile.
Exciting.
It's a lot more exciting. And I just knew in my gut.
Angelique, what about Alicia believing in you having that confidence in you, wanting to support your dreams. How did that impact you personally and professionally? Because in addition to Santu, you have another business, which is this beautiful, 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 beautiful spa that you've created. It literally is so gorgeous. A Pinterest board come to life. So you're running two businesses at once that, both feed into each other. But what about her believing in you to the point that she's saying, I want to create something with you, something physical, so that your essence could be experienced by other people? How has that impacted you?
Oh, my goodness.
You make me cry.
Yeah, it's a very emotional question. And I think it's just like her believing in me that was like reminded me of when someone didn't believe in me, I showed them I can make it.
Right.
And she just believed in me since the beginning. And that was so much more powerful because we hit it off immediately. Like there was a connection since the beginning. She was my client. I was her therapist. Our relationship as a client therapist grew so much more deeper than just that. It was like an immediate friendship. Like we have
Finish each other's sentences.
Yes. And like, for example, when her husband was like, when we would do massage and he was like, do you ever stop talking? And it's the same that happens. Like we would spend all day, like, for example, if we have a retreat or something all day, I would come home. She would go home, I come home, and she would call me. We would still be speaking for 2 hours.
We had a whole work. This is during Santu.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
spend the whole day together and then still go
Working.
home and talk to each
and
other.
then
Something
she
else
called
I need
me.
to talk about.
Yeah. And then we were talking for 2 hours.
Before
and,
your husband.
And then my husband was like, so you spent the whole day together. Is there anything else left to speak about?
We're so lucky that they call this work.
Yeah. Because we can talk about nothing all day. Yeah.
And then we have a lot to talk about that is stuff we have to talk about in any given hour.
And sometimes silently I feel like I'm cheating on my mom. And then, I would say to her, like my mom, I would speak to my mom that long about nothing. But now I've literally like look at the time and okay, now I need to catch up with my mom for 2 hours.
Right. So I'd love to talk about the ingredients in Santu, especially the hero ingredient, which is copal, which I love.
Yes. So copal is an ancient Mexican tree resin that they normally use in ceremonies on the altar of like ceremonies, Day of Dead, even like the local
funerals, churches.
Yeah, it's like an incense that they burn in church. But when I came to Troncones, I think it was also like it was the same year or the next year they opened a local temazcal here, and in that temazcal too they use it to clear out negative energy. It's part of the ritual.
It's been around for a couple of thousands of years. I mean, Mexicans know it. It's just not as well known in a universal way, but it has been used for 2,000 years. And I was saying, my great grandmother used copal in grounding ceremonies and for medicinal reasons. And she had also at some point been around a Chinese herbalist. So Chinese herbs. So she was really into using different herbs. And I like how you talk about copal in the context of modern wellness and the properties that it has, because I think they're inflammation, for example.
Yes. So it's anti-inflammatory and antiseptic. So a lot of clients that has like arthritis, fibromyalgia, that has like muscle tension, aches and pains. And we've seen how it also improved the complexion of your skin. And now we have people, they are in here every week because they want the exfoliating effect. So also one of the main ingredients in our products that we locally source here from the coast of Guerrero is our hand harvested sea salt.
Yes. Tell me about this sea salt and the people that you impact also with Santu, because this is really special and I just love what you all are doing.
Yeah. So the family that we use to harvest the sea salt, it's a local family, and the woman that do this with her family, she's about 100 years old and her son is 75 years old. So he's one of the few families, and he wants to keep that tradition alive.
Jorge.
Yes, he want to keep the tradition alive, and he's working with younger kids, showing them how to do it, because he wants to make sure that we don't lose that tradition.
I think it's really, I think I had said that we incubated for 2 years. So there were a lot of tenets and principles. I call it a creed that went into what we do.
And what are they?
Oh,
Really quickly.
I can say it like this because I like to say, because we value our health, for example. Like, one of the reasons let's go back to why we are using hand harvested sea salt, because we value our health. We go out of our way to find the hand harvested sea salt, basically because it's healthier for you, because they still use this traditional way of collecting sea salt from the ocean that goes into lagoons. They purify it with still the same tools. There's nothing processed in there to make that process go faster, which is a lot of what innovation does, right? And then afterwards, it's into limestone cuadros, like squares. And there's a process in which you break it, water evaporates, sand sinks. You have to be patient. You break it again, and it's very labor intensive because you shave this salt. And when you see it, and we're going this week actually, you see a mountain of it, but then it has to dry for 4 dry seasons. If we have unpredictable rains, that person loses their, but with salt as a commodity and part of Mexico, they work collectively. It's not like you're buying the salt that is better for you that doesn't have microplastics in it from tarps that are trying to save salt. It doesn't cost like any more money. That making it healthier for you. They aren't doing it because they don't want the tradition to go away, and really also because they know it's healthier. And they have a community to support and feed. And we can't live as humans without salt. So I would say one of the creeds is because we know we're self-care, we're our own, self-care practitioners, but also we want to honor our traditions that are meant to stay around, not everything that's new and innovated. We only have historical memory for as far back as
The people
as
are
we
alive.
can remember. And we honor the country. We want to celebrate. It's because we value and celebrate the culture and the people here that we want to share that with people. And we believe it's really important. And we want to support economies. Like, let's sell more sea salt so that more scrubs, so that there will be more people that make healthier salts.
Yeah.
That's like a little of it, right?
Yeah.
And all of our ingredients are sourced
in Mexico, and it's made in Mexico. So all of our ingredients come from Mexico. We fabricate it here in Mexico. So even our models that we use, even our creative team that we use, everything is here in Mexico. So our candles, they are made of ceramic vessels. It's called barro. So it's a Mexican clay, and that's also local artisans that makes them, and they are located in Morelos. We want to support local artisans, and as
they're handmade.
Yes, handmade.
It would be, you could make it faster.
Yeah,
But we again want to celebrate this tradition in this specific part of Mexico, and that's why each one looks a little different. But then we double glazed them, so they're so beautiful, so that you could use them with food, and that you could
Use it for anything you want to.
Yeah.
Jewelry or like
Yeah.
soya or salsa, because they're so beautiful and you don't want to throw them away.
No,
You just
I'm,
wanna-
I'm collecting mine.
yes.
I think as a former beauty founder, it's so impressive to me that you all are able to manufacture the product in Mexico. It's a Mexican heritage brand.
Yeah.
It's a product that is made in Mexico, and you are not only selling in Mexico, but obviously in the U.S. as well.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about why it was important to you to for the brand not only to be Mexican and to honor everything that you both love about Mexico, specifically the coast of Guerrero, but the fact that the products are manufactured here, because you could have manufactured somewhere else, somewhere cheaper, somewhere better, but you chose to do it here in Mexico. And the fact that Mexico has the infrastructure to manufacture your products also says so much.
Well, it's I have a story that I remind the team about, and that is that when we were shopping for manufacturers, and as a beauty owner, we're producing in small batches because we don't know how much we can sell and whatnot, and have to start somewhere. So in my mind, we're like, I'm going to manufacturers and sort of begging, like, let's sit down at the table before they tell us to leave, Never been to a factory before, and I'm walking through factories and I'm seeing American, Italian, French brands made in Mexico. And we were already committed, because if we're going to go out there and I'm going to sell something that I'm saying I'm Mexican American, I'm proud to be Mexican American, we're making a Mexican product, it is only right. It is the right thing to do. And like I said before, I come from a proud Mexican family. Mm-hmm. She is a proud Mexican family. That's in our DNA, and it's in the DNA of the brand, and that is just a non-negotiable.
So beautiful. And in addition to the copal being the main ingredient, can you talk a little bit more about the other ingredients in the product? And I would love to hear the entire collection, and what is your favorite product out of the entire collection?
So
And what's the whole ritual? Actually, there's so much.
yes. So
Go over the scent. Start with the scents.
yes.
Kind of
So we
bleeds.
have 3 different scents. All of our products, everything from the candles, lotions, scrubs, everything has copal oil in them for that celebration of the country of origin, but also for its anti-inflammatory and antiseptic properties. So we have 3 fragrances. We have Mexican lime, eucalyptus, and rosemary.
Well, that's the Lima Mexicana.
Yes, that's
So
called
over here.
Lima Mexicana.
Yes.
We have the jasmine tropical, which is pineapple mango with hints of jasmine. And then another one we have is coco corazon, which is coconut, vanilla, and coffee. So you will see each one of them, they uniquely different. So the lime, it's very refreshing and uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody kind of has their own
Jasmine is a little less scent forward.
Yeah.
But it is
Florally.
It has a hint of floral
Yeah.
notes. And
then the coffee, it's a little bit warmer.
I like to ask people too, I like to try to figure out, I wear all of them, but it depends on what I need in that moment. And as part of my ritual, I have a background in the beauty space, but I've always been a water girl, and I've always been I've told you, a product girl for the bath and the shower. And by the way, that's the original Sanctuary. Where are you most naked with yourself?
And
you
is
have
that
to be in there.
what inspired the name Santu? Did it come from Sanctuary?
We like to say
Yes.
to people, like, what is it? What we spent a long time, and we knew when we hit that it's a made up word.
Great branding, by the way. That's a great branding trick. You have to make up a word for those my entrepreneurs.
And you know how hard it is.
Yes,
You think
it's good.
it's not like it was it took a
Yes.
lot. It was one of the things that
Yeah,
took a
it was not easy. We took forever to decide on which name, because we went through like
And the lawyers are going to tell you,
Yeah.
make up a word. A good
do.
trademark
See,
lawyer is going
I
to
don't
tell
even
you
know
to
if
make up a
somebody-
word.
Honestly, I did not know.
But I always say you know what you're doing even when you don't know what you're doing.
I believe
Why?
that.
Because if you're following your heart,
That's right.
you know what you're doing even when you
Listen,
don't know what you're
I wear a
doing.
red thread as my constant reminder of move from the heart. Because when you move from the heart, you are always
At the
in the
place.
right direction.
Yeah.
And at the right place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also with our body scrubs, we recommend them to use the body scrub towards the heart. Because when you do that, you increase blood and lymph circulation. And when you move it towards the heart,
So like you mean like literally like on my hand,
Yes.
you are massaging
Yes.
everything.
in circular movements towards the heart, because you're going through some filters like detox
Yes.
as you go up
Lymphatic
towards the
system.
heart, the lymphatic system, yes. But when you move it towards the heart will make sure that the rest of the body get all the nutrients it needs.
So we have the body scrub, we have a lotion.
So with the body scrub, before I move forward, we have the hand harvested sea salt, but it's infused with butters. So the butters, it makes it so unique because you exfoliate and you hydrate at the same time. So it has mamey butter. Mamey is a Mexican fruit, so they use the seed to make the oil. When you touch it, it's kind of hard, but when you get in there, it gets soft. And as soon as it gets in touch with your skin, it melts.
It melts.
Yes.
Yes.
Divine.
Yeah.
It really
so
is.
it's mamey butter, cacao butter, shea butter, and copal oil. Those are the
It's really, I think, one of the unique things. We just won the new beauty award for the scrubs.
Yes,
2026. So
congratulations.
we found that out like a week ago. One of the things that is really important about our scrub is I think, and I didn't know this despite being that I wasn't using a lot of scrubs because I haven't found one that I like otherwise. But really our scrub is meant to exfoliate on dry skin. And the ritual of being there and really getting in there. And when you're massaging, touching yourself, moving everything in yourself, and letting those butters, now that you've exfoliated, sink in, like the oils that you want in a massage. You don't want to go soak all those away.
Right.
And then afterwards, the 10 minutes in your sanctuary, maybe with a Santu candle, because you're provoking the sense, which is part of the ritual of returning to self. And we believe that the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual self are integrated. Like you kind of need, however it's defined to you, you know, and then rinse off. And I don't use soap. I rinse and I pat dry so that I can keep those oils on. And then, you know, put on your cute dress and, you know, let your
Go to
skin
dinner.
glisten.
Right, and you're glowing. I love about the scrub that spiritually and energetically, salt is very clearing and it clears your energy. So when you're using the scrub, not only does it leave your skin feeling amazing, but energetically it's cleaning your aura. So I love that all of the tools, because of all the products that you use, also have so many spiritual benefits. Not only is it a ritual for the skin, but it's a ritual for the aura as well.
Yeah.
There's
know?
your spiritual and your emotional self, right? Getting a cleaning along with the largest organ in your body.
Yes. What was your favorite part about formulating the products as like people that are new to the beauty industry?
Watching,
The most fun.
watching her work. I love because she's the I mean, this is her. She's had been doing this, and really, like all of our products really are like a fine wine, and so it's like a notes different.
Yeah.
And Latinas over index with scent. So I love that you guys are so scent forward because we love scents.
Yes, yes.
Jasmine is our least
But I wouldn't
fragrance.
say that it's
I love it.
even people who I find that people that don't care for scents also like that. And
Yeah.
Angelique has a treatment room upstairs. We call it the Mexican scrub down, where you lie down, and the only I can compare it to is like a Turkish bath.
Yeah.
And you are scrubbed, and you're in the sanctuary, and in its full body all the way through the head and hair
And the face.
and then they rinse you off. You don't even have to get up to do the shower,
Love it.
right?
Yes.
And then they wrap you
Yeah, so we really take that extra little bit of care, not just to get you that physical emotion scrub, but also the emotional part of it. And we're very gentle. It's like we give that extra little bit of care, like when your mother did it.
Yes. No,
You
it's
know?
true. And I love that because of your background as a massage therapist. I can see how that impacted you in your formulation. I don't know if you all worked with the chemist. I can just tell that you just thought it was so intentional, all of the products, how they're all used together, and how it's mimicking the experience that you provide for your clients at the spa. That's why I was so curious about what was your favorite part of creating the product.
I hadn't even thought about this, but it's like because I'd say it's like a fine wine, and the sommelier, that might be the chemist in terms of his job of understanding
Right. How
ingredients.
everything works.
Yeah.
But the actual person that works with it knows the way it feels,
Right.
knows the way it
How it's on the
smells,
body.
Yes.
how it knows,
And what the
in
effect,
application.
yes, the effect you wanted to
Yeah.
when you apply it. When we were like doing that incubation process, every time there's like a new
Samples come in.
Oh, and
Right.
many like have to be patient
Yes.
because something's not perfectly
It's too oily. The
It's too-
salt is
yeah.
not big enough. It's too foamy.
the
it's
fragrance,
too dense.
yes, like such a intense but such a powerful, exciting process every step of the way.
And we totally did like we have a little dance, and I remember
Like when
we
you
were
nailed the formula,
yeah,
when you got it.
yeah, we screamed so loudly that my neighbor was like, "I guess you guys had a good day over there."
We did like a little happy dance.
Was it a happy
What
dance?
was that scream for? Was it like what product was you guys like?
It was the scrub.
Yeah,
It was the scrub.
Was that
well,
the one that
Because
took
that's
the
the
longest to
yes.
get right?
That's why there
Yes.
isn't really.
That's why it's
That's
so
why we
good.
won the award.
it's
Because the
it had won
consumer,
a couple of awards.
you know.
The fragrances, the one that made me cry was the coconut,
Yeah.
coffee, and vanilla. Just when I smelled it, maybe that's what's called Coco Corazon. It just touched my heart.
Yeah,
I think I have evidence of that.
yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Awards at year one is very rare. Did that feel like confirmation, or does it feel a little bit like pressure? Like, oh my God, we're doing so good right out the gate. How's that landing for you all?
Gosh.
You know, because it's like we're doing something right.
Yeah.
We're getting an award at year.
Oh,
well,
we're
also-
definitely like high five, and we. I mean,
We did it, girl.
no, we did it, and Sherry, who we work with, she's like, I did that, or like we did that, we did
did
that.
it.
We act
We
like a little
did
kid, when little kid does something, like we did that, I did that. And so we do that when we did that when
Yeah.
we won that.
So proud of what we have achieved. We've been year 4 that we've been working on
Right.
Santu, but we've launched just a year and a half, year
Not
and 3
even,
months
yeah.
ago. And we've won a couple of awards. So, I'm just so proud of our little baby.
She used to say, she would say, our little baby is crawling right now. And then it
Yeah.
was like, our little baby is running. I'm like, yeah, well, what,
Yeah.
now it's going to run.
Yeah, it's like every step of the way, like how you see your baby growing.
Yeah.
And it's like you enjoy this every step of the way. And the two of us, we are the founders, but we've been present in every step
Yep.
of every little process.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
No, because we want to see what is in every single product. We want to see and make sure that it's only the best, because we want our baby to just be out
Be the
there and
best it
be the
can.
best it can be.
yeah.
Because Santu is the two of us, and we wouldn't want to have it any other way.
As co-founders, I personally love that you made the decision to bring in a CEO at the beginning of the journey, because that's not normal, and a lot of founders don't do that. They bootstrap and it's a struggle at the beginning, but I love so much that you all brought in a CEO. And you know why I love this? Because I know that this has impacted both you personally and in the business in a way, because it frees you up in other ways. So I would love
Know your job.
You're right. I would love for you all to talk about that, because I think it's something that's not talked about enough as entrepreneurship in entrepreneurship.
I think it comes down to know your strengths.
I was just about to say that.
And put your resources towards your weaknesses. And it is really both of us. She works here in her spa with a team. You are
A great team
You
at
are
that.
only as good as the weakest link.
Yeah.
You cannot be everything to everyone. And again, the reason why it's really important to take care of yourself, double down on that.
What has that done for you both personally and for the business, that the fact that you all have a CEO?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I've been running my business for the last 10 years now. And I think I'm finally at a point where I wanted the way I wanted, because I've trained my team so hard. But I think with our business, that was a totally different business, and it's a different industry. Even if it's in the wellness industry, even if it's in the beauty industry, it's a complete different sector. It's a
and
It's
Sherry
consumer
has,
goods.
Sherry,
It's a whole nother.
Sherry has a
Sherry's your CEO.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sherry is our CEO. She was the first person that came to be with us, actually within a few months, and
Beautiful.
And we actually we met in Troncones.
I didn't know that.
No, we
Look
didn't
at the
know. I'm sorry.
connection.
We met here in Troncones when we first got
Yes,
together, and
okay.
we were on the floor with colored pencils and
Aw, like little girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were, because we had to come up with she had this
Yeah.
a lot to but it was very creative and fun to pull out things that we needed to decide that weekend.
What in Sherry, like what were you looking for, and where you're like, she has it? Because this is really great for other entrepreneurs to think about, and other women specifically, because like you said, play to your strengths, but it's like, what were you looking for?
Well, there are no accidents.
Yeah.
Sherry lives close to where I live in California. We're like a half an hour apart. And I met this friend who knew me very well from working on another project. And I knew that woman for probably 10 years. It happened to be Sherry's one of her besties.
Wow.
And
So good.
she said, I think I have something for you. In the meantime, she called Sherry and said, would you be open to meeting? And so we met somewhere in between. And it was really funny because the restaurant that we met at was closed. And there was a gentleman that was standing. I did not notice him. And she said, so tell me about this place where you live. And we were talking about it. And I mentioned one thing, and he overheard. And we had this in common. He said, did you say, this where we live, and was talking about it. And I said, I did. And he said, oh, I know that. I know that business.
Yeah.
I know that person.
Wow.
I do too.
Wow.
And she thought, that is so strange, So it was kind of like the very beginning, right off the bat, you could look in his eyes and know that he thought it was as special as I thought it. And I think she knew.
Yeah.
It's a lot of data. Like what are the qualifications?
Right.
Yeah.
And then which you need, but then it's also a real gut think. And I have a good gut think, and so does Angelique.
Me as a business owner, starting Santu was like a complete different business, but a different business. Like, I knew what I wanted, but she had all the experience that we learned from her, where to start, like what we needed, because we knew that we wanted a international brand, but there's so many steps of the way that we didn't know about. So since the beginning, we knew what our weaknesses were and what we needed. And she had all the experiences with startup brands, and just be on our side. Like, since the beginning, we were like on the right track, and she saw the potential, and she just helped us so much. Like, we are so fortunate to have her in our company.
I know you sleep better at night knowing that you have
Yes.
someone like her on your team, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it allows your energy to focus on the thing that you're the best at.
Exactly. And you can't be good at everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
I think also like our styles in general, like how we operate, we're really collaborative people. Like I won't speak for you, but I see you in action.
Yeah.
You're running a team, but you also look at your team. We're a very small team at Santu. We're 9. Actually, ironically enough, all women. It wasn't planned that way, but we're 9 women. We from the early 20s. I'm the oldest, I'm 50, almost 57. I value the youngest on the thing. I mean, she's amazing. I mean, we actually have 2 of them, and then we scan
Yeah.
a couple of us work in different countries. That's also the reason why the annual retreat. We have an annual retreat. We did it when there was only 3 of us.
Yeah.
We do it every year.
Every year.
Every year we do it. It's really, really
Yeah.
important, and similar to like what we've experienced. It looks like that.
Beautiful. Speaking of women, while we're here, can you talk a little bit more about the matriarchy in Guerrero and just the energy of women here? There's so many incredible women entrepreneurs. That has been something that has really impacted me being here, because I don't think I've ever visited somewhere that you just see so many women owning businesses. And most importantly, I love the relationship that you all have to these women. And I love how you both are very key members of this community, and you've built reciprocal relationships with other entrepreneurs, and you both are feeding each other. And part of this, like, it makes me emotional because I just love women supporting women.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say, oh, we support women, we have a woman team, but do you live it?
Yeah.
Is it embodied? And it's embodied in both of you, and it's embodied in the brand. And it's so beautiful to see. So I just wanted you all to talk about that, because it's such a beautiful energy that is felt on this land.
So the main town that we have here, it's actually called Tierra de las Mujeres.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Alicia tell that story very beautifully. Because many, many years ago, the women were running the town. They were not the principal breadwinners necessarily, but they were running.
They were leaders.
Yeah, they were leaders.
The pyramids that are 40 minutes away, we know this because they have found, for one, 200 deities, clay deities. The women were the ones that ran those pyramids in the state of Guerrero, which means warrior. My Mexican grandmother's last name is Guerrero.
Wow.
There are no accidents. Just gotta be consciously aware.
Yes.
And really ironic is that we have in Guerrero, we're going back a couple thousand years. Salt was the transactional commodity, unlike money. We say that love
is a wellspring.
Is a wellspring, and the commodity that doesn't run out is available to everyone, truly. Doesn't choose. We say we're rooted in love because we believe that the heart is the closest place, portal, from your divine self, or however you want to say that, the most pure part of yourself, however you interpret that, and your most human self. The feminine energy of those women that were at that pyramid, that there are 200 deities. There's actually, we just learned this because we were at a cave 15 minutes away that has petroglyphs and hieroglyphs that also go back and prove that the Olmecs were on this side of Mexico. The women that ran the pyramids, nobody messed with. They weren't taxed as much as other parts of Mexico where there weren't states at that point, because we had salt and obsidian. We're on a lava situation, like lava rock or whatnot, bedrock, really forceful. And we know that obsidian is used to make weapons. So if you came from a part that, let's say, had corn, you might have been taxed more. Well, if you have obsidian and you can protect yourself, you're in the state, then later becomes the state called Guerrero. Like, that's kind of I guess I need to do my research on that.
Yeah.
And you have a commodity that you can't live without, which is salt, magnesium, that we all need as humans to survive. It's pretty interesting. And then, we went to the thermal baths today, which exist up and down this coast. And found out at the cave the other day that there is a bath around the pyramids that they believe, they had aqueducts, pyramids. They know that ancient peoples and our ancestors had aqueducts for water and storing water for peace, for thirst, for healing. But there actually is what they feel like is larger aqueducts because they believe that there was actually rituals that were going on in water.
Yeah.
And we also know because Mexico is like, I'm sure every culture has these ancient remedies that we cannot forget about. We're just happening to be celebrating Mexico. And like you were pointing out to us today, trees and whatnot that, oh my God, how do you know? What is that? And I mean, down to the point of the tree that Angelique built her spa around because she didn't cut it down and found out later that it was 150 years old.
Yeah.
So, you're doing your part too, and we need to, as women, because we're the feminine divine, we have masculine, we have feminine energy, but we as human vessels are women and we're better together.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe that.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the women energy for you? Because I just love, we went out with her. She's like the mayor, right? We went, Angelique, so much love radiating from you to them to you. It was so beautiful to witness.
Yeah. So yesterday we did the Temazcal ceremony, and Fanny, she's one of the
curandera.
The curandera here in town. She even has her own pharmacy.
Yes.
And she makes tinctures from herbs and flowers and, just everything in nature. But I think, she's so powerful in so many ways. And just the Temazcal ceremony, she does it with her family, her husband, her daughters. And like, she's the one that was painted on the wall.
Yes.
And
At lunch.
Yeah.
Her daughter's restaurant.
Yes, and her daughter was the lady Jasmine that had the store upstairs that you
It's
saw.
a whole family business.
Yeah, and the crystals that was in there, the stones. So she knows so much about that. And I know like in my case too, and I know in their case, like having the support from your partner, like you can achieve so much. We as women, we want to go out there and achieve so much. We have so many dreams, and just have that extra little support. It's just like taking us so much further.
Yes.
And I've known Fanny and her family for for 10 years that I've been here. We actually have some mutual friends in common, and I've been going to their Temazcal.
Yes, I love that you're a regular at the Temazcal.
Oh,
That's ritual.
Yes.
yeah, that's a rich ritual. I love the fact that they like open their house to you, and they don't teach you to believe in anything other than come into my house and you come and receive what you need.
Yes.
Because it's not a religion that we're trying to.
There's no doctrine.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just love.
It's just love. It's just go in there
Back
with
to
the
that.
open heart
Back to that.
and recognize what you need and go and look for that. Even if it's just a physical cleanse,
Right.
you go and find it.
Yes.
If it's a emotional cleanse, pour your heart out.
Yes.
If it's a spiritual cleanse,
Right. Receive.
we receive it. The woman energy out there, it's just so powerful. Everybody needs it. It's like,
Well, and that is, I believe,
Yeah.
the feminine divine is part of everyone. It's not based on your gender.
Right.
No.
It's just that, and you need both. I believe that you need a balance.
Yeah, of course.
Of both.
Yeah.
So that we can be better together.
Exactly. Yeah, we as women, we are very powerful.
In this
But-
town, especially, I mean,
Yes.
it's so true. This town has, and from the larger town, and then going back to the pyramids,
Right.
And those
So
that
magical.
were like laying in those thermal baths, and
Yes. While we're on the topic of talking about the town, the energy here, I really love how you all are approaching entrepreneurship. I like to call it conscious entrepreneurship. That's really important to me as an entrepreneur. And I love connecting with other conscious entrepreneurs because it's so important that we're stewarding our businesses in a way that is like we're creating these new worlds and we're not doing entrepreneurship in a capitalistic way. It's in a very conscious way because
right.
ultimately our ancestors, commerce was a big part of who they
was
are.
collective.
Yes, it was collective commerce. It was reciprocal. Everyone benefited in the community from what everyone was doing. And this, I think, is our role. We're building the new world and what entrepreneurship should look like in a way that benefits everyone. And so obviously you all are very tapped into the town here, the community here. And I wanted to talk about the responsibility that you feel to protect this town in that way because it's so special. It's so beautiful. And we know with traveling, people tend to go to these areas like this and just extract, collapse the community there and not be attentive to the land, to the people. So I want to talk about the responsibility that you all feel to this community to protect them, not in a way of like, this is mine, no one can get in here, but because you all have relationships and you care about the land and you care about the people. And it's a protection from a place of love. And I just want you all to touch on that.
I feel that like I want to hug it like this because when I came here, that's what
that's
I
what they
received.
did to you, with you.
That's what I received
Yeah.
because I felt loved. That's why I kept on. Isabel was using the example, like she said, there's a lot of people they come, oh, it didn't work, oh, I'm leaving. But I kept on coming back because there was a certain type of energy that showed me you are home. You are welcome here. And the energy from the people were so beautiful. I just wanted to be part of this community even more. And the little garden that we have next door, we are planting trees. We are planting fruit, veggies. And in future, we want that space to be an educational space. You know, for like whoever needs it, like kids, the school, for the kitchen here at the spa. If we need like
Because we value our health,
Yeah.
let's learn how they grow it. Part of it is also selfishly, I want to know, I use a pineapple.
Yeah.
We use a pineapple in our product. I didn't know that it took 3 years to grow a pineapple. I think I'm going to stare at the first pineapple that comes out of that ground
Yeah.
for a long time before I just chop it up and eat it.
it's such a close-knit community. It's so family orientated. It's so close together. So I mean, even when I started my business here, I remember I put up my little table in a restaurant. I asked I want to be part of this little market that they have every Wednesday. And I asked the owner of the restaurant, I said to her, do I need to ask permission? Oh my God. Do I need to ask permission to be part of this? And she's like, I give you permission. You put up your table there and you promote your services. Do what you need to do. I support you. And you know, that was always stick with me because she didn't know me. She didn't know where I was coming from. She didn't know where I was going to or even who I was. But I think somehow her energy was just so welcoming, and I immediately knew like she was one of many people that I got that energy from. And it's just so beautiful to come, because it's easy to give up, but if you find that kind of love, you're even more eager to just keep on going, because you feel like she's got my back.
Right.
There's someone behind me,
Yes.
So I think it's just my way of giving back to that community, not just to the people that received me, but also to the whole community, because somehow all of them are connected in any, like, even if it's business wise, if it's family wise, or friendship, either which way, they are connected. So I think it's just my way of saying thank you, and I feel at home.
I believe there are two kinds of people in the world. There are people that think of the whole and then will benefit. And there are people who think of themselves, and then there's something that they decide based. And because I worked in the kind of work I did, and because I was raised the way I was, and because I wanted my children to have a certain value system, I want everyone to experience joy. And I know of those two kinds of people who has more abundance. And what people don't, there's no other way to look at it than that way. In my mind, as a person, I don't even, starting there. And then Santu, it has all the ethos of us. And that's why there's no other way. There would be no other way. And it's not to say that, it's not even because I want to experience joy. I want to have abundance. And all what you're talking about is part of all of that. And by the way, when I say abundance, it's not transactional in the way some people would perceive wealth. And I totally know what she is saying, and in my own way feel the same way, and I say hello to everybody, and I want to know everybody, and it's small enough that you don't get lost in that. And that makes me cry too.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
beautiful. I mean, you were at the ribbon cutting for the ambulance for the town.
I was.
I love that.
I was. And my husband and I are really involved in the town because it's not my country by birth, but it's what I have adopted, and it's my responsibility to do what I can. And if my child was any citizen of any world, as they are, I expect them to do the same thing. And how can I actually expect someone else to do the same thing if I'm actually not doing it? It's not what you do when people are looking. It's what you do when people are not looking.
Oh, so good. Yeah. Okay. There is a famous woman named Bevy Smith, and she has this quote that I love that she says, "It gets greater later."
Okay.
And so you both are wives to incredible men, moms to beautiful young men, and key pillars in your community, and now co-founders. I would love to hear, and I want you all to give advice to women who are considering starting something new, becoming entrepreneurs in the wise woman era of their lives. Because a lot of people might feel, well, it's too late for me. I should have done that when I was younger. Or, but it gets greater later. So what can you say about becoming beauty founders in this era of your life, and what advice do you have for women who are interested in entrepreneurship in the wise woman era?
One thing I can start off with, if you don't do it for the adventure, then don't do it at all.
High five on that one.
Because I'm telling you, it's not easy, but you will get there somehow. Always remember why you started. Like, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And if anybody out there, if you're starting something, and anybody tells you, oh, you won't make it, you show them how you can make it. Nobody can be that, how would I say in Spanish, una piedra en el zapato.
Yes, a rock in your shoe.
Just, yeah. If you believe in something that you want to achieve, you go for it. Because you believed in yourself when you decided to take that journey, when you decided to do that entrepreneurship, you believed in yourself. So just keep on going and like remember why you started in the beginning and keep on going.
Yes. What about you, Alicia?
Well, I think I already told you I'm almost 57 and I had a very different path. Like was doing something totally different. And I totally believe in always go for the adventure, which can be scary, right? If you had told me like 5 years ago that this is what I was gonna set on, I really would have been like, you are on something, because I had it wasn't something. Right. But I think there are a couple things and I have a lot of friends my age who talk about sisterhood, who are like, I'm so proud of you because they know what it's like. I'm older than both of you. Yeah. So they know what it's like. I also say, spend the time really do some soul searching. For me, I needed to be ready to receive what it was and be really clear on what I wanted to do. I agree. When you go for it, you everything. My father always used to say, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And then I also think that, to me, and I say this to my 20-something-year-old children, you do not need to know. If you're at point A, you don't need to know G. You only need to know B, C, and then maybe have a viewpoint of really data-driven, like what are the pros, what are the cons? I do not need to, if I had thought about well, first of all, when I was 20, I couldn't have done that. And I think it makes for way more interesting people. And everything that I've done as a stay-at-home mom and the career path that I have had has absolutely been my work experience, my graduate degree that got me to this point. And I know that. One more thing, because we're purely divine living in human souls, and we have an inner movie and we're all succumb to an inner critic. Mm-hmm. We're harder on ourselves than anybody else could be on us. Like any muscle, if you spend a lot of time on that muscle, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Do not let the inner critic be the strongest muscle in your head.
Oh, that's so good. That's really so good. What is your greatest manifestation for Santu so that we can look back on this when it happens?
Well, I know. Because I have a meditation, and I don't know if I've even shared this with you, but my visualization, which is actually the one thing that really doesn't really change, and it's just a picture, but in my mind, it symbolizes a lot of things. I see all of these, because I'm a water girl, I see a lot of Santu boxes floating in the ocean that is all around the world.
So that, and what does that visualization represent for you?
I wish everybody would love themselves a little bit more, because if we all loved ourselves, I think we'd all be a much more harmonious world. Yes. Really, at the end of the day.
So Santu being in like the visualization of the product being in the ocean and all the seas, that means the product is everywhere.
Yes, and most importantly, whatever that ritual is to you, but can we all love ourselves? Let's spread the love, like however that is, let's just make that part of it. And for us, Santu is that one of the things that is something that you can use as a tool.
But for you, Angelique, like it's your dream for Santu.
Like being an international brand and, just people shouldn't be like making it such a hard, like Santu, even if it's the big one, the little one, I think everybody like wearing a lipstick, just having a little Santu in their bag everywhere they go. because it's like it shouldn't even be like a job. Oh, I have to be in this space at this time to use my Santu products. It's just like, for example, I see this as even in hospitals. We have so many caregivers in hospitals. So if the hospital can, I'm thinking out loud, if the hospital can implement the body scrub, for example, in their scrub room,
Or elderly.
yeah, or elderly homes, like giving that extra little love for those people, just for example, doctors, nurses, you have had a 13-hour surgery. You just need that little bit of like, go and scrub your hands, go and scrub your feet, and just making them feel a little bit better. Like when you go to a restaurant, what do? You go to a bathroom, you go and repaint your lips. If you have your little Santu in your bag, you go to the bathroom, do what you need to do, and put on your Santu, because that's going to be your new lipstick.
Yes.
That's going to be your
I
new.
just do that at the table.
Yeah. So, everywhere you go, you can just take it with you, because it's like refreshing your.
Very grounding.
Yeah.
It's a reset.
Exactly.
You're having a hard moment. It's
Right.
just like a reset.
I
It's
love
just like
that.
Whatever. Yeah, it's a reset.
Okay, and last question.
Yes.
I believe that your business is a mirror and a vehicle for your greatest healing work. Because your
Wait,
business.
Say that again, because I want to
Yes.
really process that.
Yes. I believe,
That one's business.
that your business is a mirror and it is a vehicle for your greatest healing work.
Wow.
I think entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey for the people who decide that they want to go down this path. I believe that it's a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear from both of you. What has Santu taught you? What has it mirrored to you?
Yeah.
How has it pushed you in ways that you couldn't even imagine? What is Santu teaching you about yourself right now?
That's
I
it.
don't know how this will come out.
Trust yourself to
Yes.
just let it flow.
It has taught me that I deserve that little bit of pause, and then I can also say no.
Yes.
I can also say no.
I've never heard you say that.
Yeah. I never say it out loud.
Yeah. Well, you just said it.
I just said it.
This is a moment.
She was just your therapist.
Yeah. I just said
I'm
it.
so proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even more,
amazing.
I'm proud of myself,
That's right.
because I was obligating myself to never disappoint. I would prefer to disappoint myself first than someone else. And I came to a standstill, and I was just like, you know what? You will be fine, and whoever else around you will be fine. But I need to be fine first in order for them to be fine. So I just
And that means
decided.
also then that you can do that much more.
Yeah.
Like you're just
And-
that much more strong, and you're
Yeah.
that much more available for
Yes.
everything
You have
that you
capacity.
want to. You have
Exactly.
capacity.
And
That's really what
so
people
good,
want.
Angelique.
Yes.
yeah, and I think I just feel like I can breathe. And it feels good. It feels so good. And I'm proud of myself.
That's such a beautiful, beautiful reflection. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing that.
Yes, you're
And look
welcome.
how beautiful it came out.
Yeah. I'm like, sometimes I don't feel like I need to pinch myself. I just step on my toe, and I was like, you did it.
Yeah.
And you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy, but you just, like I said, you just have to remember why you started in the beginning. Yeah, and I mean, there will be like, yeah,
course.
she saw me cry many times.
Well, same here.
Yeah,
You
and
see me lying on the floor like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
I just need a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right here.
Okay.
And she rubs my hands.
yeah, it's just a reminder like you're okay. And I always say, when you go through a difficult situation, just remember that on the other side, there's someone else that might have it worse than you. You're fine.
Yeah.
But there's someone else that
all
might be going through something even worse, that might not have a solution. Your situation right now, it has a solution.
Right. It's figure outable.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might not be right today, but it might be tomorrow. But everything will be fine.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think we just need to be patient, because everything doesn't happen at the time we want it to happen. But we need to be patient and just take it every step, like a little by little.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Alicia? What has Santu taught you? How has it been a mirror for you in your journey?
That I think as a personal thing, it is that I embrace that I'm perfectly imperfect. And as a little girl, I wanted to be perfect. And, I thought there was a A, B, C, D for the rest of my life. And, every decade has it evolves, right? If you're consciously aware, it evolves. But I would say that my word to aspire to has always been freedom. And I would say that I feel, at least in my body today, very, very, because I'm perfectly imperfect and proud to say that. And as far as the company and business or whatever, I know that I can go anywhere, or we live up to our standards, and I don't have to, I'm perfectly imperfect. And so I'll do my best I can. She'll do her best she can, I know. We'll do the best we can. We're human.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this beautiful interview.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful for this experience and for you all having me. I don't think I'll ever have the words to just share with you all how much this trip impacted.
Thank you.
And I think I spoke a little with you about my own journey with my business, what happened with my business partner. I went through a business breakup that taught me so much. I feel like I got my MBA from that experience, and I'm so grateful because it made me who the person I am. But I feel like you guys have just healed that, because you guys have such a beautiful business relationship. And it's it's possible, and it's so intentional, and it's so beautiful, and you guys have a great product. And it's so funny, something in my heart told me oh, bring them this as a thank you gift. So I brought you both a thank you gift. And it's something that I made. So in my culture as Afro-Caribbean, we make agua de Florida. It's Florida water is what it's called. And I'll tell you a little bit about the history. So I literally made these. And it's infused with over 20 different plants. And it's for protection. So you spray it around yourself. I carry mine in my purse. I spray my bed. I spray my pillow. I spray myself. And it cleanses your aura. So whenever maybe you're in a crowd with a lot of people, or you've been around people, you can rub it on your hands. I rub it around, my hair. And it just cleanses your aura. It cleanses your energy field. It brings abundance, it brings luck, it brings prosperity, it clears your energy. And you can buy it at the store, they sell it everywhere. Or you can just make your own. So I made my own, and I wanted to bring you both a bottle of agua de Florida that I made.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And I let it sit for 3 months under 3 moon cycles. And it was made during the Taurus super full moon. So it has a lot of Venus energy, it has a lot of pleasure energy, and I hope you enjoy it.
I want to smell it.
Yes, you can spray yourself with it.
I'm gonna spray it.
It's just a nice little cleanse.
Do I
It's just-
spray it on us, or do we spray it
Yeah, you can spray it
around?
on you, around you.
I want to spray it on me because I want to
Mm-hmm.
smell it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my God, I totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you so
This
much.
is
Thank
so special.
you. My
and-
pleasure.
Honestly, I think I've said this, but I can't. It doesn't sound as much as I mean it. But I knew at the lunch that everybody here really came up. We haven't done that before, and I really also feel so grateful that you guys came and were part of great for us to share, but I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about Angelique, as well as getting to know you guys. And it was,
Thank you for trusting the experience. I know this is something new you never heard of, you never done. Thank you for trusting Seda, and thank you for trusting us and just providing such a beautiful experience for all of us.
Yeah, I think it's just so that each and every one of them, they have such different energy, but yet so powerful in their own way.
So
And-
heart forward.
And I think even myself, and I'm sure you too, in this like 3-4 days, we've learned so much.
Yeah. We're gonna have a big
Yeah, so big debrief after.
We're gonna have a big debrief.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just so special, and I really hope you come back. I really hope
it's
I really do
already.
too.
It's already. I don't.
really-
I have so much love for Mexico. Like, wow, I've never felt this way about another country
Yeah.
other than my own country. I love.
And I want to
Dominican
meet your
Republic.
boyfriend now.
Oh my god!
I mean,
yeah. I want to bring him.
That's
So that's my plan. Thank you again so much
you.
for today, the whole trip, and for the interview. This was so good. Thank you again to Alicia and Angelique for this incredible interview and experience. Shout out to the entire Santu Beauty team. Thank you, Seda, for coordinating this and for having me. It was such an honor to be on this trip and to connect with my fellow peers in the industry who I hadn't seen in a while. Thank you so much to Josie from Inca Originals for all these incredible photos that you took during your trip. And major shout out to Angelique's Spa and her entire staff. Wow. I am so grateful for my time there, for the experience there, for my services there. So good. If you want to get your hands on some Santu, you can check them out at santubeauty.com, or you can head on over to ulta.com because they are now available at Ulta. Congratulations, Santu. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you are interested in all the details from my experience and my time there, you can head on over to my Substack. Thanks for watching. Bye.